222. One, two, 1, 2. 222. 222. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're from. And my name is JP. This is Tuesday, and it's Tuesday Tunes with JP. I've just realised I haven't turned my lights on to make my backdrop look really, really nice. So that's live streaming for you. I'm going to do that now. If you've never been here before, then what you can do is... If you've never been here before, then what you can do is you can obviously give us a super chat if you want me to request a song. If you want to request a song, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitch, then obviously give us a little bit of love there as well. And obviously, what we do, as I keep saying, obviously, sorry, what we're doing is we're gonna play a couple of different songs, and I use a loop pedal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I use this loop pedal, and there it is. This is the Boss RC600. I'm being very brave today. For the people who watch my streams regularly, they'll know that I have the loop pedal plus the effects processor plus all these different buttons. I've taken it off the pedal board, and I'm just trying to use the RC600, nothing else, which is still a lot. It does a lot of things, but I'm just trying to see if I can get away with just this without anything, and just I'm very, very comfortable with my effects that I have on my other effects processor. I want to see if we can obviously do this. Now, the thing is as well, you're joining us here, and this is just a little bit of a new look. Hi, so you can see what I'm doing. I've just released today a new video on the channel, which is all about this little box here, and this box is called the YOLO Box Pro. It's a bit of a mouthful, and it's basically how I'm live streaming right now. The computer is just there so I can see the chat. And you can still see the chat in this as well. But I'm doing it through Restream. So, but I wanted to just obviously use this and utilize this. Got a couple of cameras plugged in. So this is actually a camera here. There's a tiny little camera here, and that is this one. As I tap it, it should move over. There we go. Hi. And yeah, this is just basically using this system, seeing what it sounds like. seeing if it drops out at all. We're going to check it out and find out what it sounds like. So I hope you guys are okay. Hope you're well. If you are, give us a shout out to hello in the chat. I can see the chat from all 3 places where it's streaming from. So it's a super chat, which is basically for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Now for the Twitch stream, for the Twitch viewers, I'll start that again, shall I? For the Twitch viewers, I don't yet have things on there for gifts or anything like that, and I'm just starting that out. But what we're going to do is we're going to obviously evolve this over time. They say that you've just got to, go live and just figure it out from there. Right then. So at my feet is a loop pedal, which is where you can actually loop yourself. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to erase that. There we go, we're back to normal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down a track. You may have heard me play this before. And then what I do is I show you how I made that track. So here we go. This track is actually one of my own tracks, and I play it a lot, but that's a good thing because I play it a lot on a loop pedal. So I'm going to use 3 tracks on a loop pedal, no more. I know this specific pedal can do 6 tracks, but I'm just going to use 3 for now. This is one of my own songs, and this is called Old Hill. Troubles for a century or 2. Old man sat in the corner, staring at his drink. His coffee is cold and half empty. He starts to think. Flying through the skies. Old hill, so many worries, fields of conquerors and kings. I'll wait right here for my angel. She can bury my wings. Where have I gone? In my life, Cheers. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and all the others. So that is my song called Old Hill, and I'm just checking the street. In the chat, let me know if it's too loud, if it's too low, if it's not sounding the way you want it to sound. And I've just realized as well by playing this, I did a YouTube short about what kind of bass sound you want, and I left it on the last one, so it sounds a bit weird. 1, 2. So I did take the bass out of that one because I need to change it back to the one that I'm liking. I think I'm going to go with the Octaver. I'm not sure. Maybe. Someone can input on that. So let's just go back to the looper and let me show you how I did Old Hill. I do this in lots of different ways, and I actually started this with like a 1-pedal looper when I made this originally. We're now on a 6-track looper, 6-loop looper. But this is obviously, I'm just doing it on 3 tracks today. So we're going to start off with the drums. For those who are familiar with my channel, I normally like to get a beat by going. Do a little bit of guitar strumming, it's kind of always simplifies a hi-hat. And then just going to boom, 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 boom. I'm just doing that. And then you'll end up with something like this. It's quite a quick loop. Now, normally, after that, the way the track originally started on the guitar, and let me just change this over, was basically, this is in Dadgad, by the way. This is red. There's red, and there's Lucky Lime just down there. And I normally started this in. And then I'd play the harmony of that. But then when I got looper with the effects and stuff, I started obviously adding that in with a bass line, and I sing my bass lines. So you've got, if I just play this, I'm going to have to take the Old Hills out. There we go. So if you have a listen to that, it's quite quiet. And sometimes I mute it, sometimes I don't. But then I would normally add in the bass. So you add that in, and then we've got that on top. So we've got this going with the drums. Now I'm just playing over the top at this point. It's a nice little pattern. Change this view so you can see it. Of course, we're just singing the verse. I'm singing verse 1. I want the end of verse 1. Stop playing. Where have I gone in my life? And that gets looped. So you end up with, I think, 3 of them. In my life. Where have I gone in my life? Where have I gone in my life? Guitar back. Now I stop the loop after Where Have I Gone, so don't let it finish. Gone off. And then, oops, right, into verse 2. It's pretty much the same through that. But then when I bring the Where Have I Gone's back, you notice they're not on bar 1, beat 1. So it says, boom, where have I gone? So. Where have I gone? Now if you tap it on the beginning, it's not too bad. Where have I gone? And then, obviously after that one, you would have heard me stop and then bring these back in. I think I've erased it. I've erased it. So what I did was I sang Old Hill. I'll do it now. Old Hill, middle over the top, and then bring everything back. Then take out the Where Have I Gones. And then when I finish it, it's the start, stop, the all start, stop. And then just slow it down. So that's my song called Old Hill, and you can actually find that on any streaming platform if you want to go and find it on Apple Music, on Spotify, on Amazon, on Deezer, whichever, anyone you want. So just put in John Paul Old Hill and you'll find that. There is actually acoustic versions, and there's also a full studio version as well. Selfless plug, by the way. Talking of selfless plugs, I just wanted to have a quick word with you. Can I have a word with you? This live stream is actually sponsored, and it's sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid. Now, DistroKid are a distribution company where if you are making music, you give your music to them, and they push it out to all the music places like Spotify and Apple Music and all those other places around the world. There's currently around about 160 different places they push it to, including places like Facebook Live and Instagram and TikTok. And that's really important because if you're going to actually like make a reel, for example, you can actually use your own music on the reel, which is really cool. You can promote your music that way, which is nice. So there's a link in the description box. It's also on the screen. I've just realized I've left my johnpaulmusic.uk scrolling. I'll turn that off. And if you click that link, you're going to get 7% off your first annual membership, because what they do is they charge you one price per year. They don't charge you per release. So literally, it's $20. It's $19.99. So for me in the UK, it's about £16. And they've got a couple of different tiers as well. So I've got the middle one, which is Musicians Plus. So I can do my stuff. I can also do our duo stuff, which is Tokyo Wasteland. If you want to find Tokyo Wasteland, if you like synthwave, then we do that as well. It's me and my mate Greg. And yeah, so obviously if you click that link, if I do that, is it there? There, that one. Superimposed on top. Yeah, if you click that link, then obviously you can get 7% off your first annual membership, whichever tier you pick. And I just want to thank DistroKid for sponsoring the video. The live stream. They sponsored the video and a live stream today, all in one day. So thank you very much to them. That's awesome. So let's go back over to here. Hi. It's very quiet on the chat. Is everyone all right? It's Tuesday Tunes. Please let me know if... I'm sure you can hear me, otherwise someone would have complained by now. By the way, when I created Old Hill, I played in DADGAD, D-A-D-G-A-D. And then when I put this on, this is equivalent of A. And... all day. It's really nice structure to. It's a nice structure to do. Now, normally what I have is I have my iPad for my lyrics and things like that when I'm on a gig, but I'm actually using my iPad as a camera today. So what I've got here is the trusty book. Now, this book's been around for, I think, I'm going to say plus 10 years, and it's always had the lyrics written out in all the different songs that I've done and everything else, and now I've got it all digital. But today, I thought I'd kind of show you this, because this is kind of how I'd set myself up for a gig. We're talking about, obviously, how to loop, or how do you loop, and Tuesday Tunes. I've just realised I've spelt Tuesday wrong, haven't I? I've just realised that now. Tueaday. Oh, JP. Right. Hopefully that is now updated for you. So apologies about that. My terrible spelling. So I have this in a certain order, of course, like most people do. But then also, this is what I loop as well. So there's a couple of different songs here. And I want to show you the most simplest loop on the planet. And it's literally just a beat. Thanks, Siri. Right then, because I haven't got my pedals or anything set up in such a way, I've just got the looper, so you're going to hear a little bit of audio as I erase stuff. So, one of the songs I do is Simon and Garfunkel, and I'm going to change the guitar, so you're going to hear a slight bump. Now, what I should have done is actually plug them both in independently, but, you know, I'm so organized. Hold your ears, everyone. That wasn't too bad. Okay, so this is Lucky Lime, and this is actually in normal tuning. Most people know Mrs. Robinson, Simon and Garfunkel. So I play it in normal tuning. Play a little bit faster than the original. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Now, I normally have a harmonizer pedal with this to harmonize the other part of Simon and Garfunkel, but I'm going to actually set a memory on the RC600 to have the harmony there, and I'm going to try it and see what it's like. I'm not going to do that today, but I am going to try it, and then I'm going to test it out and see what it's like. If you want me to test it live, tell me in the chat. And we'll see if we can do trial and error. But all I do with the looper is I just use it like a one-pedal looper. I literally just use it for the beat. So. Let's try that again, shall we, without the actual rhythm thing kicking in. So that's pretty much it. Now you can add a little hi-hat on if you wanted to. So you could So. You, Mrs. Robinson, Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh, 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 God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, 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 hey. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole song, but one thing you could do if you've got a two-pedal looper is the that bit. You could put on a second track and only bring it in the chorus. Or what you could do is obviously just play around with the start-stop. So you heard me go. You could obviously start and stop it there. So what I could do is this instead. Use loop number 2. If you want to use some additional equipment. So we got that going. Now play with the start-stop. to you, Mrs. Robinson. Oh, God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, 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 hey. Know a little bit about you for our files. It's gone a little bit quieter. We'd like to help you learn, help yourself. I'll come out you all you see is sympathetic eyes. Stroll around the grounds until you feel at home. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Feel like gonna come back in a little bit more with the rhythm stuff. So all the rhythmic stuff. So the tambourine and the shaker and stuff. So it just has a little bit more. So if you've got things like an RC30, an RC500, a 2-pedal looper, you could put this into multi-mode. You could do that just to bring a little bit more back. If you're not using like the rhythm section of the 600 or the 500 or the 30 or whatever you're using. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm not going to play the whole song. It's just a nice little boom da boom da boom da boom da boom boom. Literally. Boom. I always seem to do things at the end of my loops. So yeah, so that's just basically how I would do that song. How are we doing this afternoon? I hope you're well. I am slowly but surely watching my apple rot over there. I've eaten 3/4 of it. So I wanted to show you that. The other one. Yes. That's one. That's it. Now I do half of my stuff in normal tuning and half of my stuff in DadGad. And one of the ones I wanted to show you again is in DadGad. So I'm going to have to change the guitar again. Oh, please go away. There we go. So whilst I'm whilst I'm changing my guitar. There we go. Some tracks, of course, I do are very, very like upbeat and fast. And other tracks are a little bit mellow and chill out stuff. Watch your ears. Sorry about that. So. You'll believe it's the D, that D there that actually goes out of tune in DadGad. It's weird. So let me just change this over. So this song is one which is Rag and Bone Man. It's human. So that is A minor. I'm just dropping down to the G, A minor, G, F. And then the next one is actually meant to be D minor, but if you just play an open D on DadGad, it can be either. It can be D minor or D major. You fill in the gaps with your mind. Now that's the whole phrase, as it were, but I like to play around with it a little bit, so I'm going to show you how I do this. I keep going to touch screen my own laptop. Right, so let me just move things out of the way. Anna, hello. Sorry about that. I don't know why it didn't come up automatically. The restream chat's being weird. I can't see every chat that's coming up, but anyway, hope you're all well. And if you're on Twitch, give us a wave. If you're on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And if you're on Facebook, give us a smiley face. Just do that on the chat. Be fun. Right, so this is Rag and Bone Man. This is Human. You can always pause there. Maybe I'm human, maybe I'm blind. I can see through this, see what's behind. The way to prove it, maybe I'm blind. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Look in the mirror, forgiveness, what you believe. What you believe, and I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Well, some people want the real problems. Some people out of love. Some people think I can conquer him. The heaven above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. So it's pretty much the same all the way through. Now, I normally would add a bass line on this, but like I said, I've kind of messed my bass up today from doing the short from yesterday. But I'll try and add it in, but it might sound a bit discordant, so. The other thing I have as well is I have quite a large reverb on my effects processor, but I've not plugged it in today. So
that one, 2, 2.
Yep, I've taken it off this setting, so. Now, that's pretty much it all the way through. I do put a lot of those with quite a long reverb on top, and I do that on either track 2 or track 3 as you're adding it in. You and that harmonies in. But there is a bridge. There is a breakdown bridge part where it's I'm no prophet on the side. and then you go into the chorus. So then, I'm only human after all. Sorry, that was terrible singing. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. So the way to get round that is I'm going to play as if I'm playing the chorus, and then I'm going to go into the bridge and bring the chorus back. I just turn it off loop 2 for now. Keep the beat going. You're going to play, and then you're going to bring stuff back in. So, where are we? Did a little chorus. Yeah! Some people think I'm real from love. Some people out of love. Some people think I'm so well. Lord heaven above. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Stop everything. 'Cause I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. After all, don't put your blame on me. I do what I can. I'm just a man. I do what I can, but put your blame on me. So, it's a bit shorter on rolling round because it's like the end of the chorus rolling round. So what we're going to do is, I'm only human after all. You can have this with obviously the beat if you wanted to. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on. So stop, and then put your blame on me. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all, don't put your blame on me. Because the ending chords are the same as the first chords, and you're just using the ending of the loop, using the beginning of the loop for the end of the loop, end of the chorus. Does that make sense? So that way you can actually just use the din did it, did it, and did it, and din did, which would be at the end. Sorry, the beginning of the loop. You'd use that while you're playing the end of the chorus. I hope I'm making sense here. So. Is right at the beginning, and it's also at the end. So if you hit the beginning of the loop, it sounds like either. So as long as you don't go into that bit, you could time it so it goes into it, but it's a little bit longer. So that's how I kind of play Human by Rag and Bone Man, and I just mess around with that. And of course you can add in loads of different things. You can go, oh yeah, 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 and just add in loads of harmonies and things like that. So there we go. So hello. I hope you can hear me. I've just got a thing that says I've got no sound. Can someone just tell me I've got sound? I hope we have. Please, 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 someone in the chat, just tell me if I've got sound. Just, if you don't put anything in the chat, I'll assume I have no sound, so then I'll have to stop. So just, there's 6 people watching right now on YouTube. Just one of you let me know. Just go thumbs up or just say something that you've got sound. You can hear me, please. Help a brother out. So I'm going to do another one of my own, and this is a song which actually came from a loop pedal, and it was actually one where it was concepted out of a loop pedal, and it's basically from a story that I heard whilst on holiday, whilst also singing the same thing going round and round in my head. So I put it down on my phone, on the looping app on my phone, which is Loopy HD at the time. And then I came home, got to the loop paddle, and started figuring this out. So I kept hearing in my head, da 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 da. Pretty simple, right? And no one said that they can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you actually hear me? Anyway, okay, I'm assuming you can hear me because I can see volume going up and down there. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yes, apparently you can. So the live stream is working. Anyway, so Boscastle. I went to Boscastle with my family and with my wife and the kids, and it was just had this tune going around my head. And sorry. I could already hear that like a bass line, so and then when we're walking around Boscastle, this is the story of the song, by the way. Walking around Boscastle. Boscastle is a place in sort of like south west England, southwest United Kingdom, and for those who don't know, and it's a little fishing town where it got massively flooded a few years back, quite a few years back now. But the amazing thing about the story is that everyone survived. And it was just a really encapsulating story. So I started twiddling down lyrics for Boscastle, and then married this loop up with this story, and that's where Boscastle came from. So it came from looping. So here is Boscastle.
By the tide, but we'll then run through each other. Valenti sees Jordan's eyes. Just a quiet and peaceful village, tucked away from the busy lights. Now they're thrown into the spotlight as the riverbanks lose their fight, yeah.
Hover over to pick up the poor and the posh, and the country watches the horror as the cars roll around in the wash. They're facing fear and anguish. People feel there is no hope. The lower bridge is lost, my friend. Look up and we'll throw you the rope. The big rig punching through a sandstorm, the casino flying through the harbor. The look on her side, she doesn't look back, but Boscastle, you will live again. 'cause I harbor day and night. The wind will test those fishing boats as they feel the briny might. The river slows its pace now and reveals the damage done. No lives have been sacrificed, only bricks and mortar gone. Storms will come and storms will go, and the skies are plain to see. This quiet and peaceful village just keeps amazing me. Let this one event wash away the cobwebs of men. Close your eyes, sleep well tonight, Bus Castle, you will live again. Rain punching through a sandstone, like a seagull flying through a harbor. With love on her side, she doesn't look back. Bus Castle, you will live again. 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 Punching through a sandstone, like a seagull flying through the harbor. With love on her side, she doesn't look back. Bus Castle, you will live again. Like a big wave punching through a sandstone, like a seagull flying through the harbor. With love on her side, she doesn't look back. Bus Castle, you will live again. Bus Castle, you will live again. Bus Castle, you will live again. You will live again. You might have heard me stumble halfway through that. It's because I just broke a plectrum and snapped it off. That's the way it is. That's why I've got tons of them in my pocket. So that is Boss Castle, made by John Paul. So if you've got Boss Castle, B-O-S-1-S, Castle, all one word, Boss Castle, that's the town, and then put John Paul into your favorite streaming platform, you will find it there. Which leads me nicely onto, before we actually go onto how I did this, yes, I am checking my own stream to make sure it's working. This live stream is actually sponsored, and it's sponsored by our good friends over at DistroKid, just there. DistroKid is a distribution company in Boscastle and Old Hill and all that stuff. That's how I've got it out there. And what you can do is you can make your songs, give it to them, and they push it out to all the music streaming sites around the world. There's currently around about 150, 160 different places, including social media sites. So if you make a reel or if you make a story, you can use your music. When people use other people's music, you can use your music, other people can use it as well, in the reel, and you can actually get paid, which is really cool. So if you have a look at this link, which is just there, am I doing that right? There. You can actually get 7% off your first annual membership with DistroKid, because they actually do it where instead of charging per release, they charge one price per year, which is $19.99. It's about £16 in the UK for me. There's also another tier which is called Musicians Plus. That's actually what I'm on. It's about $35.99, and you get two artists, as it were. So I've got one for me, John Paul. I've got another one for our duo, which is Tokyo Wasteland. And you can also do with Musician Plus, you can dictate the release date, which is really good because you can then start promoting it, which is cool. So yeah, so if you have a look at that, these guys have obviously sponsored the live stream. They've also sponsored today's video as well, which we've just released. They're all about this little box here, and this is how I'm live streaming to you right now. I'm not using that computer, I'm using this box, and it's called the YOLO Box Pro by YOLO Live. It's a mouthful, but it's a really, really good box. So if you're impressed with the live stream, if you like what you've seen, it's all coming from here. It's all going into here from the looper, from the cameras and everything else. It's all coming from here. This tiny little camera is this camera right here. Hi. Obviously, thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring the video. Check out the link, by all means, distrokid.com/VIP/John Paul Music UK, and get 7% off your first annual membership. Start making and then distributing your music. Don't delay. Make it today. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. It's just a happy accident. So there we go. Right, Boscastle. Let me show you how I make this. Again, we're looking at 3 loops, and I always do my beats on the first loop predominantly. So it's quite simple. 2 bars, 1 and 2. Boom, 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 boom. Going. So then in comes the music earworm that sparked this whole song, which is the bass. So we'll put them together. They're quite nice together. And then what I wanted, I'll stop this now. What I wanted something which sounded a little bit like in a radio, distorted radio, but I didn't want the vocals that I was going to put down to detract away from me singing. So I decided to find a radio effect on my effects processor. I've now found a very similar one here. It's like an old radio. It's actually distortion, so it's... So when you add them all in, it's got a nice dynamic. There's bass, there's treble, and then I fit in the middle, basically. For the first verse, you'll notice that I actually sing with that effect on.
And musically, the idea is that this is coming over the radio as the flood is happening. The stream turns into ocean, boats rise and defy the tide. Both of them long to each other. The land sees Jordan's eyes. They're the two rivers, wide and peaceful village, tucked away in the busy lights. Now they're thrown into the spotlight as the riverbanks lose their fight, yeah. And then what we do is we bring in our radio and sounds whilst I go. And I've got time to go back over
and turn this effect off. And then go back to mode 1, as it were. Helicopters hover over to pick up the poor and the posh. And now we're singing the second verse and playing a bit of muted. Sounds like half Celtic, half country. Big rig punching through a sandstone, like a seagull flying through the harbor. But look at her side, she doesn't look back, boss, guessing you will live again. Now, there's a artistic choice here, basically. I can leave the D going while I'm going. Or I can turn it off. So let me show you it with and without. So first of all, with. Where are we? I'll turn it off. So it just depends on what you want to do. Now, the nice thing about it is the D resonates really well with the G and the A, so you could leave it on. I did leave it on a couple of rounds around it. And then when we're coming back into it, I just basically can either just tap the radio edit back on, or I can do a quick start, stop, all. So. I can just go back to the way I was, which is what I did in the performance you just seen. So, where are we? Elephant in the Ocean. So, elephant in the ocean, guards the harbor day and night. Okay. Or what I've done live beforehand to completely break it down. Elephant in the ocean, guards the harbor day and night. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm just literally. Let me just show you from this angle. I'm literally. So I could do that as well. So you could have a mixture of that because it's all the same chord structure, but I'm just taking the drums off, and it just makes it a little bit different. It's like a mini breakdown, as it were. And then when you get back into it. Now, the other breakdown I have, that could be breakdown 1. The other breakdown I have is Bass Castle, You Will Live Again. So, Bass Castle, you will live again. Bass Castle, you will live again. And I'm just playing. I'm not playing anything with the. I could obviously. Bass Castle, you will live again. Bass Castle, you will live again. So it depends on what you want to do. But I quite like breaking it completely down away from the looper, because when I bring it all back. me just change the camera as well, because one thing I do very quickly is, because that's the stop, this button right here, with I'm tapping my foot, this button right here is the stop for loop number 3. But then obviously if I hit the start, stop, it's going to start. So I literally go bang, bang, like that. So, you see that? I'll do it again. If I didn't, obviously, because the boom, there's a tiny little gap there, and I can use that to my advantage. So, yeah. Don't know where that came from. I just decided to do it, and it's kind of stuck. So that way, with Boss Castle, I can end it on a big crescendo, or I can break it right down really slowly, and it is this Celtic-y, sort of country-style feel to it. And yeah, so that way the 3 loops obviously split up. We've got the drums, we've got the bass, and then we've got the radios. And there's not much more that it needs on that. The only other thing I do use is a harmony pedal that I'm trying to figure out whether I need to use a harmony pedal. I just like it because it gives more oomph, and I kind of hide behind it sometimes. So I'm trying to be honest with myself and just sing directly as opposed to having a harmony. But it is nice to have a harmony on the chorus. So yeah, I might put a harmony on this in D, and then I can turn that on and off. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. There we go. Angus! Hi, GP. I forgot it was Tuesday. Hope you're well. John Wynn. Hi, man. Yeah, so did you try the RC600 bass with the guitar? No. The reason I didn't is because I'm so comfortable singing the lines with my mouth. There's some bass lines I sing that I don't know how to play, so I'm more comfortable singing. So I'm kind of using this one at the moment. It's a bit meaty. It's quite nice. It goes a little bit if I sing out of tune, but that's on me. So I'll tell you what we'll do. For the people who are interested in loopers, I'm just going to go into this for a split second. Yeah, I actually forgot. This is guitar to bass, but it's at 70% on the mode number 2. So the balance is 70% bass, 30% me at the moment, and it's the second mode, not the first mode. I think the first mode's quite like raw. So you can still hear a little bit of my voice. It's really meaty. So that's the one I had, actually, the mode 1. I had that when I went to an open mic night on was it last Tuesday? No, Wednesday, last Wednesday. And I turned it on, and the thing just rumbled through the whole PA. So I turned it off very, very quickly. So, yeah. So mode 2 doesn't sound as meaty. I'd like it to be meaty, but, good old Barry White noise. So that's what I'm sticking with for now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I don't need to talk through it. I just want it to be a nice bass sound. The other contender is, sorry, I'm just knocking that through. The other contender is the Octaver. It's Octaver. So there's an octave one, and at 100%, it's too much. But I might, and I did a thing, a YouTube short, where it was like 50% of me and 100% of the effect, and then none of me. Was it 100% of me and 100% of the effect? I'm going to mess with that one as well, because I want it to have a little bit of a humanized voice. So a little bit like the Barry White one. So artifacts on the upper notes. And yeah, I get that, Angus. So getting some weird artifacts on the upper notes. Yes, that is correct. I think as a more out of tune a guitar goes, as higher up the tuning you go, of course, there's more crossover between like in between the notes perfectly, if that makes sense, as opposed to a keyboard. So because there's variation, so that if there's a tiny little fraction of a note problem here, then you're going to have more of a note problem up here, and therefore the bass is just going to emulate that and just make it worse. So that's how I found OC5. I've never used one. So I'm looking at the camera, I'm over there. Hi. OC5, I've never used one. I've never used an OC3, never used an OC5. I've always used the bass on the TC Helicon for years, and I've just kind of stuck with it, and I ended up singing all my stuff. I don't know why I'm hunched over. Just realized I'm kind of like, over this thing. Let me just move this up a bit. There we go. There we go. That's better. Oh dear, terrible. Stretch the back out. There we go. Yeah, so I've never used an OC5 or an OC3. I did have a pedal which had bass on it. It was the TC Helicon. It was a Voice Live 2. Or was it the Voice Live 3? No, the Voice Live 3. I used the Voice Live 3 for a little while. I just didn't get on with it. I didn't get on with the feel of. Again, I'm more happy to sing a bass line, go do 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 do, than go. I don't know. I'm a chord player. You know, I don't really want to twiddle on this unless I decide to. So I hope that makes sense. So that's why I've not kind of done it like that. Ross, how are we? Hey, can you easily swap between loops of different tempo in the same track? Well, I've got a trick for you, Ross. So, no. However, yes. So what you can do is with an RC500, an RC5, and an RC600, you can do it on all three of these, but you have to save it beforehand, is what you can do is you skip up and down the memories. And what you can do is you can save everything you want on, say, memory number 15, and then what you do is you save it again on memory 16, but then you erase the melodic parts of it and just left with the drums. And then you can then just adjust the tempo on memory 16 and save that. It's the same one. You could even change the drums. You could change the tempo. It's a whole new thing. And then if you've got on the pedal, what you could do is you could either on the pedal here, you could say like memory up, memory down. You could do that. Or you could just say on memory number 15, that's memory up. But then on memory 16, that's memory down, and you just jump between the two. So let me give you a sort of example about that. So on the last live stream, I was messing around with this, which is Senorita, which is the Justin Timberlake song. Now, this has actually got 6 loops, and there's a breakdown bit, and I was messing around with it. So this is not the same track. This is actually another track, and I've done exactly what I've said there, where I press the button and it'll go memory up, and then press the button again, it'll go memory down. And that's on mode number 2. So, have a listen to this. Might be a bit loud. Let me know if it's too loud. I can actually put the guitar down. Okay, so I've gone to mode 2, and that is now blue. See that? So I'm just going to put all the tracks on. Let me know if this is too loud. Yeah. When I look into her eyes. Yeah. So this is Senorita 2. This is the other track, and I've changed the drums, I've changed the chords and everything else. A couple of things I've kept the same. I feel for you. So this is massive, and this is a really cool thing you can do because you've got 99 memories and a loop ain't one. Sorry. You can actually do where you have a basis for the first part of the song, save it to the next loop up, and then take out the melodic bits and say that's now my breakdown. So it was exactly the same to begin with, and then all I did was go into the modes of the buttons. I use memory number 2, and you can see that one on Senorita 1, as it was, Senorita, that is just memory up 1, memory up. And as I go up to it, that is now on Senorita 2, and that is now memory down. So all I'm going is going up and down and up and down. If you wanted That's just having two parts. If you wanted to have more than one part, well, you could actually change it so it's like memory up, memory down for all of them. And you could go like verse, chorus, bridge, breakdown, whatever you wanted, and then go back down again. And the great thing is if you set it to loop end, you can press it beforehand and it won't kick in until the end of the loop. So, for example, you'll notice on loop 4 I've got nothing because I don't need it. I'm on mode 2, and then I'll just press it now. Ready? Not too soon. Flashing. It's flawless. It's flawless. It's just brilliant. I love it. That's it. I hope that helps. Levels are coming over the stream fine. Good, cool, we'll try it out. The delayed kick is important. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the thing as well is that I don't have to stress about going 1, 2, 3, 4, hit it now. I can just press it as like a bar before or like half a bar before. So again, I'll do it again just to prove it works. Look, obviously. The blue one there. Now if I do it now, if I do it too early, it'll come back too early. However, what you can do is you can set that whole thing up so it will be literally at the end of the loop, like the end of the longest loop. So stop track. What is it? Stop track loop or something like that? Stop track loop, I think it's that. And you can set it so it's like the end of the loop, like not the nearest bar, but then at the end of the longest loop, and then you can press it like the second you go to it, and it'll just jump back at the end, very end, which is really, really easy to do, because that's an 8-bar loop, the Senorita 2. So when you drop it back down again, it's going to the first one. So yeah, so I'm loving this. I think it's a really, really cool thing you can do, because then you can just go, well, memory up, memory up, memory up, memory down if you want to. Yeah, and there we go. It's only the middle one that you'd have to have like 2 buttons. So you go up, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, down, and you have to have them in the same place, otherwise you'd be pedal dumping and you don't know which one it is. Anyway, I'm babbling now. So yeah. So, which guitar have I got? Oh, yeah. So I've got another song to show you. Whilst I'm tuning up, this live stream is sponsored, and it's sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid. So distribute your music today, $19.99, and you get 7% off with that link. I'm not going to talk too much about that, but there we go. Thank you very much to DistroKid for sponsoring this live stream. The link is in the description box if you want to go and check it out. There we go. That was the shortest plug I think I've ever done. Right. One of the most famous songs for weddings ever. And this one you can take your time with because it's for a wedding, right? So you can, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. such and such and such. Do it all, everything on our own. We don't need anything. Okay, so you get the idea, right? It's quite simple. Now I play this quite differently because I'm playing it in DistroKid. This would be verse 2, by the way. I'm just talking to you. So in DistroKid for me, this is in A. And then that's A. You can hear the bass line. So that's an E sus. So it's actually E, then D, which is not the right chords. I'll tell you that now. I'll confess that to you right now. It's not the right chords, the official chords, but it just sounds nice on DistroKid. So we have our drums. Now, if you listen to the original again, there's very little drums at all. I decided to put drums in, A, to keep time, but also at the same time, people want a little bit more, so I take that out on verse 2, and then bring it back, so like for the second chorus. And if I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me, just forget the world. Ironically, I was a bit loose with my harmonies today, but there we go. It's what we're told. It's not on my own. We'll have a harmony pedal before we get too old. Show me you got 'em, bursting into life. On my own. Let's waste time chasing cars around our heads. Need your grace to remind me to find my own. Pause, obviously. And if I lay here, if I just lay here. Okay, you get the idea. So this is quite a long loop to set up, but in the right environment, it doesn't matter because you got like the walking into the dance floor, the kind of like, oh yeah, this is us, and then of course you know let's waste time, was its breakdown, and just turning the loops on and off. That's it. Now, the other thing as well is, this could take more time, but you could set something up beforehand if you wanted to make sure you were like nervous, like playing that like a wedding, like playing that for someone's first dance. You could set it up beforehand, so instead of having that, you could have and have like lovely harmonies playing. So but you don't play them to begin with; they're already saved. So you could have just a. Just set up, just that, just to keep it going. And then you add in the boots and the cats, and then you add in the... So you can have half backing tracking this if you wanted to. And because it is quite long to set up, so to reduce that time, what I would do is maybe potentially you could actually have it so it's all set up, ready to go. You've got the bass line already in, because you could just go do, 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 or you can go do. Do 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 do, whatever it is. So yeah, and it's obviously requested lots of times. Or if you're in a pub playing at the end of the night, people are wait, another swear, just like elbow track. So yeah, so this is obviously a great track to play, and it's the same chords all the way through. You don't have to do a key change or anything like that. It's nice and easy. Let's go to the chat, shall we? There's conversations about the OC5. What's going on? Limiting effect which stops the octave from playing to high settings. Okay, cool, yeah. But for example, loops 1 and 3 are playing on memory 23, and when they're playing 24, when you switch, vice versa, you've done it with assigns. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're changing the effect, right, with the assign when you're going up to the next memory. Is that what you're trying to say, Angus? So that's what cool. Levels are coming in over the stream. Fine. Cool. Nice. Wicked. See, this is what I like about Tuesday Tunes. It's not just about me just telling you how I play stuff. You guys are having a nice, cool chat about basically how you guys do stuff. Everyone's coming together. It's a community of people. That's what I quite like. So if you're liking this live stream, then please give it a thumbs up, and it goes out to more people. That'd be really, really nice. All my live streams are available to watch afterwards. So if you have missed it and you are watching right now, hi, you missed it. And normally 2 p.m. In British summertime on a Tuesday afternoon. Normally kind of came on a little bit early today. And I just wanted to say as well that this live stream is sponsored by our friends over at DistroKid, and I'm just going to go there. Hi, this is sponsored by DistroKid, so if I do that, I quite like doing that. Yeah, that link there, check it out. If you want to obviously distribute your own music, you can do it with DistroKid, and we can save you money off your first annual membership. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the live stream there, if I'm actually honest, because, let me just turn it off. There we go. And live stream, let me start again. I'm going to end the live stream there. The reason is because we have gone through a couple of different songs today. I don't want to obviously do too much on one live stream. That's what I did on the first one. I went through half my flipping set in 2 hours. So if you have got questions, or if you want me to figure out how to loop something, or how would JP loop it? Maybe I should have that as a tag. How would JP loop it? If you want to figure out how I loop it, then what you can do is you can do a super chat whilst we're live, or if you want to and you're finding real value out of all of these, there's a brand new button which is on mobile, which is called Super Thanks. And Super Thanks just gives basically a little donation to me to keep this going and supporting me for obviously doing these live streams week in and week out. And I hope that you are getting something out of it. If you've got questions, put it in the comments, put it in the chat. And I just want to say thank you very much for everyone for supporting me. I think it's it's fab, because you guys you're supporting me. When you're watching this on a replay, when you're watching this live, when you're watching my other videos, when I'm doing other reviews and stuff, I just want to say thank you. I think it's just about time I say thank you to you guys, because without viewers, this channel wouldn't exist. So if you want to keep this going, then please obviously support me. I would love to do YouTube full-time. I'm not doing YouTube full-time at the moment, so if you want to support me a little bit more, there is a super thanks button, a super chat button, and I've also got my membership as well. So the membership on YouTube lets you get access to the videos early. So I schedule the videos to come out on certain dates. However, for the members, they get them as soon as it actually hits YouTube. So if you want to be a member, then please join and become a member. Anyway, with that being said, thank you very much for this. This has been Tuesday Tunes with JP, and I'm JP, and thanks very much for listening to me. Bye.